Damn, homie. In high school, you was the man, homie. What's poppin'? It's your boy, Mr. Beans, aka Lil Thoughtcast. Podcast. We are here on a Sunday, May 31st, and I'm not doing the stream I was supposed to be doing. I ain't gonna even lie. I just don't. I'm not emotionally there, man. I'm not psychologically there. I want to start the Know Your Word series, but I'm not even emotionally there right now, man. Like psychologically, I'm just not there. You know, I put together a whole sermon, and I'm only using sermon because I don't know a better word to use. But I put together a whole sermon to do, on that first installment of Know Your Word. But I'm not even there mentally, bro. Like psychologically, I'm just not there right now. But when we finally get to it, it should be good. I'm mentally and I could probably even say emotionally. I'm in this place of holding females accountable, holding women accountable. That's where I'm at, bro. I'm not even gonna lie. You know how like when that whole thing happened with Anton and Corey, and then the next thing you know, everybody just went Anton and Corey crazy. Every thumbnail, every show they did, every topic, everything had something to do with that. And I don't even think I did one show about it. But like this is a trigger source for me. That's really what it is, if I'm being honest. Right? This is a trigger for me. This whole thing where women get to escape accountability, and men are hold to this standard of accountability. It's just a trigger for me. Not too long ago, a few weeks ago, as a matter of fact, hold on, let me do this. Yeah. So a few weeks ago, I remember me and my moms was talking, and she was telling me how one of my cousins, right, he lived in my auntie building. He was renting an apartment in my auntie building. Long story short, my auntie loses the building. But she didn't let my cousin know that she was on the verge of losing the building. So he don't even really know what's going on until the people really come knocking on the door. Now, he may have known a day or two before, but as the story comes to me, he don't know what's going on. People showing up like, yo, y'all got to get out of the building, this and that, blah, 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 So, safe to say this part, he has struggled residentially for some portion of his life, right? So this was probably him having his own apartment, and my auntie building was nice. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like it was some shabby ass apartment. You know what I mean? So he had a nice apartment. Really nice, to be honest. So this was a win for him. You know what I mean? To have all these issues with where you're going to live and all of that for a lot of your life. Had to stay in the YMCA for a little bit of time. And then you in your own apartment. And then, goddamn gnats, my bad. And then, to no fault of your own, now you losing this apartment. So I definitely felt bad for that. But my mom's was telling me like, yo, your cousin has an attitude right now with your auntie or whatever because of what happened. But he should be understanding. I got upset. Like, what you mean he should be understanding? he had an apartment that he was paying rent. Even if she wasn't charging him market rent, he was still paying whatever she was charging him. Now he's basically homeless again. But he should be understanding. I love my mom, but my mom is a woman, a black woman on top of that. So it's some shit she can't avoid. With all that Christian and all that other stuff she got going on, she's still a woman. So that feminism thing, that always being on the defense of women, it's there, you know? Then, to add insult to injury, to pour salt in the wound, he ends up having to go back to stay with his moms. Now, his moms is struggling with her own health issues. His sister lives there too, and I think a couple of her kids. So, as the story comes to me, when he goes out and gets restaurant food and this and that, he'll bring something back for his sister, Mom Dukes, whatever, maybe even something for the kids or whatever. But apparently he had ate one of like the snack packs or something like that. I don't know if it was a bag of chips. I don't know if it was like one of them fruit pack snacks. I don't know if it was a Lunchable. I don't know what it was. But apparently he had eaten some of that. And my mom's is telling me how his sister is going off on him about eating, you know what I'm saying, her kid's stuff. And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, but he buys food for y'all too. And it's not like whatever he ate, he couldn't replace. And even if it was in a moment where you went looking for it and it wasn't there, it's not like it's not something that he can't replace. You see what I'm saying? But she don't have no respect for men. Never did. Right? So you going all off, cussing and disrespecting your brother because he ate a fucking pack of fruit snacks or some shit? No respect at all for men. So I got triggered again. So first of all, he loses his apartment to no fault of his own because a woman, who just so happens to be my auntie, wasn't handling her business and lost her building. Now he's back homeless, basically. Then he got to go back to his mom, where his sister is also living there. And now she disrespected him. And here's the thing about it. Nobody is holding those women accountable. Nobody is saying to auntie, yo, that was wrong. Like, you have your own issues and you lost your building, and we understand that that's your problem. But him not knowing this was going on, him not having a chance of stacking his bread and being able to make a different kind of move for himself, him having to go back to his mama house on your watch, that nobody ain't saying that to her. Nope. Now she just lives with her son. Her son just went and got a new big old house out in the suburbs, and she lives there with him. And when I be talking to people, they say it like it's her house. When I was talking to my little brother, he said, yeah, I went to auntie house. When I was talking to my mom, she said, yeah, like at auntie house. I'm like, I thought that was Cuzzo's house. Well, yeah, yeah, but we just, what you mean y'all just? This man, his money, his credit, his accounts, his shit went to buying that house, but y'all referring to it as her house. This is what it's like. I can't speak for no other communities. If I had to assume, I would assume that it is nowhere near like this in other communities, particularly those that ain't white or Hispanic. And when I say white, I mean European white. I'm not talking about Italians and Greeks and Arabs and all of them, because I bet $100 to $1 that they not playing that shit in their community. There's no way you're going to refer to this as the woman's house when the man is the one who bought it and paying for everything and shit. There's no way. But this is what we do in this community. There's no true value, no true respect for men. And so I don't give a fuck how any of you dick-sucking ass niggas feel about the fact of what I'm saying about these teenage girls. Nigga, from age 0 to 100, nigga, I'm going to hold women accountable. And I don't care how you feel about it. I don't. Make all the videos y'all want to. I don't care. This bitch ass nigga Daryl Long, every time he see me anywhere, this nigga, what's up, Beans, in the chat, all that other shit, they say he making videos about me. Bro, I did the Daryl Long thing 5 years ago, bro. I know the man is retarded, so I don't give a fuck about Daryl Long. They say Drip hosting the shit. Bro, I don't care, bro. Drip pulled up on my channel on some, yo, man, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is kind of shit. Hey, listen, bro. It's good. We know what it is with niggas. Niggas, like, motherfucking DJ Witch Doctor just pulled up the other day. That's probably going to turn out to be phony, too. I'm beyond that shit at this point. I don't care. But that's why I'm telling y'all, so y'all know why you about to get all this content that you about to get. Because I'm triggered. I'm not even going to pretend like I'm not. I am. But I'm like, damn, you more triggered by this shit than you is by these niggas talking about you? Yes, because I'll punch one of them niggas in the fucking mouth. Why do I care about that shit? And that ain't going to do shit. But this shit bigger than Nino Brown, son. This thing where the community refuses to hold women accountable is bigger than Nino Brown. And I know what you might be thinking, but Beans, ain't that what the red pill is doing and this and that and woo, woo, woo? Yeah, to a certain degree, you're right. But here's the problem. All we're doing is talking, including me. All this is talking. The women have to begin to hold themselves accountable. White men need to be held accountable for the fact that they're empowering women to be unaccountable. It's a lot of accountability to go around. But true accountability comes from within, right? And until we start pushing shit to the limit and forcing people to hold themselves accountable, what you gonna do? These niggas can't even tell you what I did wrong. But I can tell you what these motherfuckers doing wrong. That's a fact. They can't even explain it. I can, though. Because I think I use my brain, my own. I don't need nobody else's. At least not yet. Everybody can't do this. Everybody can't sit in front of a microphone and just talk off the top. No scripts. Be coherent and make sense. A lot of people can't do it. A lot. All they can do is try to misrepresent what other people are saying to produce controversy content because they suck. Nigga don't got, angry man ain't around for say you like to suck dick, then he got to try to come at somebody. Daryl Long got a 9th channel, he got to make content about the same motherfuckers he been making content about for 10 years. That shit's crazy, bro. So I don't give a fuck about them people, bro. But I do care about this topic because, like I said, it hits home for me. My mama was like, yo, I got to let you go because you taking this personal. I'm like, I sure am, Mom. I wish you were. I wish that you didn't appreciate what was happening to this person who is also your family member. He's just as much your family member as he is mine. He my cousin. He your nephew. Blood, not through no marriage. But y'all don't give a fuck about what he going through. You only care about what the women are going through. And y'all think for some reason that shit makes sense to not care about what the boys are going through. what the men are going through. Don't care at all. That show I did last night was big, bro. Showing exactly the hypocrisy of what we got going on over here. But you're never gonna be able to have a real conversation. Shout out to Trey. I just issued an apology or a retraction statement because I said some shit in my show yesterday that wasn't true. And I tell y'all, I'm only gonna try my best to tell you the truth. Now, nobody's fucking infallible, right? But my experience when I was up there and the motherfucker tried to put a jacket on me, that nigga stood up and stood down on that shit. So when I said yesterday that motherfuckers could go in there and say whatever they want to, that was me. I misspoke. But you see how easy it was for me to, nobody had to tell me. Nobody had to call me out. Nobody had to do shit. I realized I said that shit. It wasn't going to sit well with me. I addressed it. I'm not going to wait for somebody else to clip it and send it to a nigga and say, yo, he said this shit. I got it. That's how easy it is for me. But if you waiting on that with this conversation that we having now, age gap and all that, nigga, eat my entire ass. You'll be waiting. Shit ain't gonna happen, bro. It's not. It's not gonna fucking happen, bro. And I showed y'all why yesterday. Look at all them videos we looked at. That was only what? 4 videos? 4 videos of teenage boys being treated like adults. Right? That was only 4. How many do you think really exist? I only showed you 4. This is what I'm talking about. Did any of y'all ever watch The Wire? It was this one kid in The Wire whose mom was like trying to pressure him to sell dope, to follow in his dad's footsteps and shit. And when the ex-police officer dude went and talked to the dad and told him like, yo, this your son. You really want him to end up in here with you or no? And then he told old girl, you gonna let him go with that guy. He told his baby mama, you gonna let our son go with that guy because that's what's best for him. Don't forget, she tried to raise up on, like, don't forget who you talking to. Like, don't play with me because you think I'm in here. Shit'll go bad for you. Because they all realized this motherfucker was toxic. She was trying to push her son to the streets, push him to hustle. Do you know how often that shit really happens? Do you know how often mothers require for their sons in their teenage years to step up to be the man in the house? But see, we can't have that conversation. Nobody don't want to talk about that because you don't care about boys and men. They're going to say, man, how small of a percentage is that? The same small of a percentage it is that these older men are messing with these teenage girls, but you still talk about it. I like being unplugged from the matrix. And I know it means they're going to impede my success at every turn, and I don't care, nigga. Fine, have it. That's what it takes. But I'm going to say the shit I believe, though. I'm going to stand on the shit that I know. I'm going to illustrate and verbalize the shit that I see, think, and feel. If you don't like it, nigga, make my mouth bleed. That's the only option I got for you. Right? So, I want to go ahead and jump into these videos. I got a couple of hours before my package get here. So let me knock this out. If you appreciate truth and realness, it's some links pinned to the chat. A super chat link, since YouTube is on their bigotry. a PayPal link, a Cash App link. I know all y'all got those. And as well, the Zelle, email bell.portlogic@gmail.com. bell.portlogic@gmail.com. Zelle is how you show your love. Right? Support the stream. It's about to be some more truth, bro. And I want to start with this particular video because this chick, I mean, I look, I can't even say I'm super duper surprised because she's not black or white. Right? And it seems like it might be much easier for non-black and non-white women to just say what's real, you know, even though she's still a feminist. But she did say some real shit, and I want to take a look at that right about now. So let's do it.
Young girls already start to fantasize about being with older men. I'm not an exception to this. 11-year-old me really wanted to date Sam Claflin after I saw him as Finnick in Catching Fire. But could you blame me? Because I feel like there is already a lot of content exploring why older men pursue younger women or girls, I want to focus a bit more on why young girls and women also share this desire.
See, that's the part that black people and particularly content creators don't want to talk about, because they're not going to demonize those girls, which won't filter, which won't allow for them to produce this, you know, toxic content, which drives viewers. Right. So they're only going to talk about the men, because just like how it's super okay for you to spend your whole YouTube podcasting career shitting on black people, but at the same time, you niggas won't even say you on your platform, right? In the same way, it's absolutely okay to spend your time shitting on men, right? But you're not gonna do it to women, right? Not, especially not young women, and especially not for this particular topic. You're not even gonna address it. Right? So shout out to her for at least acknowledging that part.
Besides resorting to the catch-all term daddy issues. For clarity, I'm focusing on large age differences, so perhaps 7 years or more, and on heterosexual relationships where the female is barely legal, aka late teens or very early 20s. So of course, what I say in this video will not be totally relevant to, say, a 27-year-old dating a 35-year-old or a 45-year-old dating a 60-year-old and so forth. I recognize this is a touchy subject because many want to assert that the younger female in a large age gap relationship is a complete victim of social conditioning, gender roles, and perhaps past experiences. I agree that I am not going to be shaming young girls or young women that find themselves dating significantly older men. However, I do not think it is fair to absolve girls and young women completely of their role in the relationship.
What? What? Listen. I need you to say that one more time, please. I need you to say that one more time.
Relationship is a complete victim of social conditioning, gender roles, and perhaps past experiences. Right. I agree that I am not going to be shaming young girls or young women that find themselves dating significantly older men. However, I do not think it is fair to absolve girls and young women completely of their role in the relationship.
Wow. Imagine that. Now, whenever I'm on Ham's show, people like Mr. Fantastic and other people in the space always use Asians as the barometer, right? The Asians are always the benchmark. Man, we need to move like the Asians. We need to be like the Asians. We need to think and act and talk and speak and dress and everything like the Asians, right? Does that include this Asian woman? Does that include this as, you know what? I got to get my horn sound back. I'm finna get my horn sound back. But does that include this Asian woman though? Because she just said she don't think it's right to completely absolve women of their autonomy, to put it in a smaller sentence, right? To summarize it. It's not all right. She said young girls and young women. You play a role in this shit. You see how she's not just victimizing them? See how she's just not making it seem like they're just these helpless young victims who don't know what the hell is going on or what they're doing? And the reason why is because her content isn't drove by being toxic or demonizing one particular group, which is all stupid motherfuckers like Daryl Long and Cellulite Podcast can do. They can't produce any other good content. So the only thing they can do is produce content of controversy and trying to tear people down. But see how she's just able to produce content where she says, no, all these girls ain't fucking victims. She said, when I was 11, I wanted to fucking be in a relationship with this dude I seen in the movie. Oh, but don't worry. This is mild to the shit we're about to hear. Oh, stick around. The shit we about to hear, checkmate. Right? But I just got to say, shout out to her for acknowledging that. I just need to hear it one more time because I'm never going to hear it again. Not in this space. Nobody in this space is going to say it. Not even phony ass Shanika, who want to come around and make it seem like everything was all good. And then now, because she's in cahoots with Daryl Long, now all of a sudden, BEANZ is insinuating and basically implying. Whenever somebody says you're basically implying, that means they're taking what you said out of context. That means they're adding something more to what you said than what you said. That's what that means. And for everybody who thinks that that's intelligence, you're stupid. That's not intelligence. Right? I'm a very literal person. You can take me literally. If I say something literally and you say it back to me exactly as I said it literally, and I understand exactly why you thought I said what I said, I'd be like, yeah, I did that on a show before with another dude who's a half-wit, right? Because I made a statement that implied I was talking about black people. Because only I knew, based on the words I used, that I was actually talking about poor people. Because I said people who look like me. And I was talking about poor people. But he assumed I was, I'm not even going to say assumed, right? He interpreted that I was talking about black people, which makes sense because I'm fucking black. Right? So I said to him, yo, listen, I understand exactly why you thought I was talking about black people, but I wasn't. The words I use absolutely sounds like I was talking about black people, but I wasn't. I was talking about poor people. Right? That's how easy it is for me to do that. But that's very different than you say something specifically and then somebody says, oh, he's insinuating this other thing that has fucking nothing to do with what you're talking about. Right? But it's all good because stupid people are going to be stupid. You can't stop them from being stupid. Shout out to my man Cheeky Banter, who really drove that point home for me a couple of years ago, bro. You can't stop these people from being stupid. I don't know. Like, if you're trying to, that's insane. So I'm not trying to anymore. Let me hear it one more time.
Relationship is a complete victim of social conditioning, gender roles, and perhaps past experiences. I agree that I am not going to be shaming young girls or young women that find themselves dating significantly older men. However, I do not think it is fair to absolve girls and young women completely of their role in the relationship, not just for personal responsibility reasons, but mostly because I think it is patronizing to view them as having been at the complete mercy of manipulative, uncontrollable powers.
Wow. Come on, man. Listen, maybe Fantastic is right. Maybe we do need to be like the Asians, right? Look at her. This is so deep in thought because she's saying Forget the whole thing about them being responsible for their choices. At the same time, it's patronizing to make it seem like every time a woman is in a situation that she just was at the mercy of somebody else's power. So here's the thing, Lucky Marie. Here's the thing, Jazz. Again, this woman is proving why y'all are fucking slow, bro. For Lucky, I mean that respectfully. For Jazz, you can eat a dick. But this is why. She just proved why y'all are fucking slow. She said it's patronizing to make it seem like every single time a woman is in some sort of situation, it's because she was at the mercy of somebody else's power. That's what real intelligence looks like. That's what real logic looks like. All that independence, every time one of y'all, I'm not a Republican or a Democrat, I'm really an independent, and knowing you don't think independently about a fucking thing. That's what it looks like, just so you know. I never thought I would ever want to be with an Asian woman, but she's changing my mind. If they think like this. Do me a favor. Say it one more time for the slow motherfuckers in the back.
Shaming young girls or young women that find themselves dating significantly older men. However, I do not think it is fair to absolve girls and young women completely of their role in the relationship. Not just for personal responsibility reasons, but mostly because I think it is patronizing to view them as having been at the complete mercy of manipulative, uncontrollable powers. I want them to know that they do have a choice and the will to make different decisions if they so choose. They are not automatically rendered undeveloped or too immature to do so. It's undoubtedly important to recognize the power dynamics at play, the way girls are conditioned into desiring a submissive, pampered role that treasures male validation. But once this has been acknowledged, as I think it has been, hashtag everyone and their mother talks about the male gaze, it's important that we actually recognize our freedom to change things.
Hashtag everybody and their mama talks about the male gaze, but none of y'all talk about these girls and the decisions that they make. Lady, shout out to you. Shout out to you. Use Google Lens and screenshot her face and figure out who she is and subscribe and all of that. I mean, I didn't because she's still a feminist, but at the end of the day, when you write, you write. Like, it's nothing I could do or say about that. When you write, you write.
Simone de Beauvoir talks about, sometimes it is easier and more comfortable for women to accept their object role, but it is in defining yourself that lies the uncomfortable challenge.
Whoa, I like that. It is in defining yourself that lies the uncomfortable challenge. This is why these idiots on these panels don't like me, because I force them to see themselves as the retards they are. That is not hyperbole. I am not being sarcastic. I am not being facetious. The minute I start questioning why you think what you think, why you believe what you believe, and you can't answer it, instead of looking inward to realize you're stupid, you rather just display anger towards me and bullshit as what they call it, selective outrage. Because you can't explain your own position. Oh, I think this is wrong. Why? Because it's wrong. But why? Because you know what? Because it's wrong. But why? Because. Here's the crazy part about it. Tomorrow, when we review the Trey video, you're gonna see I'm the only one who actually said why I thought it was wrong for a 24-year-old to be with a 17-year-old. I'm the only one who said why it was actually wrong. Not even wrong, but not optimal. Shouldn't necessarily be happening. right? Because you can't change people's attractions. I'm sorry. Y'all could talk all the shit you want to. You're not going to stop people from being attracted to who they're attracted to. And in the same way how y'all not going out of y'all way to stop these young girls from being attracted to older men because you know you fucking can't, you're not going to stop the reverse either. As much as I think it's creepy for that niggas who look at girls that look like girls, I'm talking about look like little ass girls, look like they supposed to be carrying a Barbie backpack, you know what I'm saying, and fucking on roller skates with pigtails and shit. No bodies, no breasts, don't have no features, ain't developed at all. And some niggas that's attracted to that shit. And y'all spending y'all time on me, a nigga whose baby mama came on the platform and said I lied about my age. Because you know you not shit. Because you know you can't make an argument. So you think attack this other person. Shit gonna go bad for you, son. I'm trying to tell you. You have to do it on your own platforms, which is smart. Because you can't pull up on me nowhere where a nigga gonna hold you to what come out your mouth and make it look good. You can't. It's gonna look bad for you. I'm just trying to tell you. You might want to bark up another tree. This ain't it, I'm telling you. But go ahead and waste your time. Have fun with that shit. I don't know what to tell you. I got about 60 new subscribers. So I appreciate y'all. Thank you. But man, that's crazy though. When you start having to define your own self, that's when it becomes uncomfortable. Because you start realizing so much of the shit that you think, feel, and believe is some programmed ass bullshit. That's what therapists do. Therapists, when you go in there and start talking to them about certain shit, that's why they always be talking about how prevalent your childhood is to who you are today. Because you be done had these experiences that you don't even realize shape the way you think, feel, see things, defense mechanisms, all kind of shit. And you don't even be knowing it until they start asking you questions and take you back. And then you realize, oh shit, I went through this thing at 10 and ever since then I've been super and hyper defensive about this particular thing. So when I was at work and this person said this, it took me back to that moment and that's why I overreacted to it. Yeah, I did the work. See, when you looking at people like Zelle and Daryl Long and all these retarded motherfuckers, they ain't never did no work on themselves, ever. That's why they're as retarded as they are. That's why they can't really speak and tell you nothing about why something is the way it is. They ask stupid, irrelevant ass questions when they on panels. It don't ever look good at all. But y'all be entertained by it, so they think they the shit. That's why I say it's y'all fault. I'm gonna keep saying it's y'all fault. You niggas don't support me no way, so I don't. You just here to see what you can clip. I posted I scheduled the stream for tomorrow. Trey was on the thumbnail. Hey, that motherfucker called me immediately. Man, motherfucker send this shit to me, bro. Nigga, it's not about you. Don't worry. As a matter of fact, I'm literally about to issue an apology to you for something I said about you yesterday that wasn't true. See, because I'm a real man. I don't care what other motherfuckers think. I care about what I think about me and my actions. I ain't gonna say I don't care at all. It's a lot of people who I care what they think. You know, it's some people I don't want to let down. You know what I'm saying? But in a New York minute, it could be fuck them too. You know what I'm saying? If shit don't, you know what I'm saying? Like if shit go left, it could be fuck them too, nigga. Like I'm just saying, when you done buried your youngest brother, buried your oldest brother, buried your two favorite cousins, buried your grandmama who loved you more than anybody else in the world, you know what I'm saying? Like buried your auntie who you could call on. When you done went through that kind of shit, bro, you start realizing that people are more disposable than you actually want them to be. You know, you don't want to view people like that because you don't want to be viewed like that either. But it's like you just start realizing, like, fuck these people. Like, kill yourself, bitch. I'm not gonna shed a tear, right? So, But shout out to you, lady. I guess I'm gonna start promoting Asian people, like Mr. Fantastic too. Mr. Fantastic. If you don't know, well, nah, he showed me the other day that he on some bullshit too. When I try to explain to this nigga exactly what the fuck I was doing, he like, no, you doing this. Fuck that nigga too. Like you niggas, all you pussy ass niggas who think you could tell me what the fuck I meant by what I said, eat a dick, nigga. I don't know what make you niggas think I ever gotta lie to you. I done argued with, cussed out, threatened, all this shit with 90% of the niggas in the space, and for some reason they still think I gotta lie to them. Make that make sense. What I gotta lie to you for when I specifically said online for the world to see that me and my brothers gonna stomp your fucking ears together if you ever come to Chicago. So what makes you think I gotta lie to you? I've already threatened you. I don't have any reason to lie to you. Like, it is what it is. I don't know what these niggas' egos be through the roof. I tell you, that's all it can be. Nothing else makes sense. Unless the fact everybody else in their life always lying to them or something, because I don't know what it is that make these niggas think you gotta lie to them. Some online niggas you ain't never been in the same room with. Nigga ain't sent you $2 ever in your life. Don't even know these niggas' real names. But you think I gotta lie to you? For what? What do I get out of it? Nothing. I get more satisfaction out of whooping you niggas with the truth. I'm never gonna lie to you pussy ass niggas, bro. Shit ain't gonna happen. I'm telling you. There's no reason. I don't think I've done any. Have I done anything that I might have to lie about? Like done. Me, I did it. Well, it was this one time. I'll probably lie about that. I'll withhold some of the fact. I won't lie. I'll withhold. Nah, you know what? I'll tell the truth on that shit too. Yeah, I'll tell the shit on that shit. I'll tell the truth on that shit too, nigga. Put a 1 in the chat if you want to know what it is. I'll tell y'all the story. I'll tell you. Put a 1 in the chat if you want to know what it is. I'll tell you, I don't care now that I think about it. I don't care what you niggas gonna think about me. I'll tell it. Anyway, I forgot y'all only hit a clip up shit, so nobody's gonna participate. So I'm not gonna wait on those ones. Let's start getting into these good videos. Oh my God, bro. These good videos of women proving that they ain't fucking accountable, bro. Ain't no doubt we are here to party. Dance with the boogie, get down. 'Cause boogie nights are always the best in town. Got to keep on dancing, keep on dancing. Got to keep on dancing, keep on dancing. Okay, where we at? Boom. All right. I'm probably finna have to turn this air on. I didn't even put on a hoodie because I didn't want to be hot. And I'm still hot. This shit ain't making sense. It's not even that damn hot. All right. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Should I just go with the Janice videos now? Oh, I forgot to pop out the chat. That's why I can't even see the chat because I didn't pop it out. Pop it out. Or should I just keep it like this so that way I can still see? Yeah, I'll do it like that. Okay. Now I can see the chat. Boom. All right, let's jump into this first video.
Yeah. So we want to get to know Janice, the freak. Funny ass Janice. Janice Hart.
Period.
You know, we see you on the internet, we see you on Twitter, being both funny as hell and freaky as hell. You know, you a very talented young lady. So, you know, around what age did you start indulging in porn? When did you start watching porn?
I started watching porn when I was like 6.
Really?
Young.
That's
yeah.
very young.
Yeah, very young. It was very
6?
accessible. Like, I remember magazines, VHS tapes, white CDs. You know, the little white CDs with the, you know, it's just white. You know what I'm talking about?
Big booty.
Hold on, man. 6? God damn. I thought my shit was bad at 11. 6 is wild.
But then, no, it don't even got nothing on it.
But you know it's a porn?
It's just blank. That's how you know. You don't got nothing. You just pop it in. It's like, yeah, so it was very accessible. But I found myself like masturbating really.
You said it's accessible. Like who? You 6 years old, so who?
My parents had it.
Okay.
My dad, they weren't together when I was, as far as I remember, but my dad, he had VHS tapes. He had the computer. My mom, she had CDs and just all types of magazines and shit. It was crazy.
So your mama had all kind of nudie magazines and porno DVDs and CDs, huh? Ain't that something? I forgot. No accountability for the women. She was doing what she needed to do for herself. Let's keep going.
But when I first like nutted for the first time, I tried to show my sisters and they couldn't do it. And I was like, damn niggas, I guess.
You tried to show your sisters. Okay.
It's just me. and then I've just been, I don't want to say freaked out, but it is like that. That's how it was. Because once you for the first time, it's like, damn.
Bruh.
That's yours, motherfucking punk ass friend.
Yeah, that is crazy, bro. I'm gonna just hold on. She's not saying what I think she's saying. She is not saying that she nutted at 6 years old. She's not saying that. That's not what she's saying. So let's just listen.
Every day. You don't even want to do nothing else. You don't want to do nothing else. But like, as soon as I'm about to get out of school, it's like, yeah. All right, guys, I'm going home. I do what I was about to do. You want to go to the grocery store? Nah, I'm good. I'm good. I'm going to watch the DVDs. I used to get caught so much. That's the craziest thing.
Getting caught masturbating?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's so awkward.
Wait a minute. So you telling me that you were a black female girl who was making your own choices to say when you got out of school, you were going home to masturbate. When everybody else wanted to go to the grocery store so they can get treats and candy and shit. That's my insertion into that story. That you was like, nah, I'll stay at home because now that all y'all gone, I got room to masturbate. Right? But I'm not understanding this. You were just a girl. How could you even be making these decisions? You were just a girl. According to all of the people in this YouTube space, you can't make those kind of decisions. So right now, I'm trying to wait to see who are you going to blame, because you're not necessarily blaming anybody for those choices, unless you're saying it's your mom and your dad's fault because they had the material. But you didn't say that, so I don't want to say you said it since you didn't say it. Okay, but I'm going to let you finish.
It just made you feel dirty, like,
Yeah.
damn.
I've never got caught masturbating, but I can only imagine the embarrassment.
It is, because I had to lie, make it seem like that was not what I was doing. And then my mom, she found the DVDs and she would hide them, and then I have to go to like movies, like Belly, The Wash, like the sex scenes from those, it's lit. I could still to that.
Word. So around what age was this? I know, because you said you first saw porn at 6. Now, so what you want busting at 6?
I did.
Oh,
yeah, my
okay.
first one. Yeah.
Excuse me.
Yeah, I remember it very clearly.
That's yours, motherfucking punk ass friend.
She did say it. She said it. She just said she was busting nuts at 6. Okay.
I didn't know the human body can do that at 6 years old.
Yeah, I wouldn't make that up either.
I believe you. So what we talking about, first grade?
I was in kindergarten though.
Ooh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. That's deep.
I don't know if it's in the genes or I don't know what it is, but I wasn't even watching porn when it happened. So it's just like I did it and I really tried to show my sisters and they couldn't do it. I was like,
not you tried to show your sisters too though. Hey y'all, all of y'all gather around. Let's all squirt and come. Can somebody please go tell Lucky and Jazz and all the rest of the feminists to explain what's happening here? Can somebody please tell Dick Sucking Cellulite and retarded, insane, probably gonna kill himself one of these days, Daryl Long, to explain what's happening right here? Can anybody? Somebody tell Shanika to explain, because this her talking for herself. So Shanika, now you can't accuse me of implying anything. This her talking, not me. Now what? So she was doing this at 6, but at 16, she couldn't make choices. She didn't know what she was doing when she fucked with older niggas, right? Yeah. Mm-hmm.
well,
So and that's when you began masturbating?
yes,
Wow.
just humping
So
pillows.
your whole childhood.
Yep.
Wow.
And I know I took my own virginity and everything. Like, it's crazy. So before I even started having sex, I was just putting it up in me and shit. So I already knew it wasn't going to be nothing for me to start having sex.
Before she started having sex, she was already putting things inside of herself. Man, I can't hear y'all. Why y'all so quiet now, bro? I don't understand. See, this won't be the stream that they clip up because this does not help them attack me. Right? This proves that they just fucking retarded. And that what I've been saying this whole time is 100% valid. You gotta hold them accountable for their fucking choices, nigga, as teenagers. Period. You do it to the boys, do it to the girls. Period. You hold the boys accountable, hold the girls accountable. Period. But I already know what they're going to say. That's just one girl. Yeah. But then when we show the meme and the data that shows more than twice as many teen girls have kids as teen boys. Ooh. Fucks y'all retarded ass narrative way up, don't it? It just hurt, don't it? Oh my God, BEANZ is always right. We can't take it.
But yeah, I sucked my first dick. I was like 12.
Wow. So as soon as I press play, huh, Janice? You just not even gonna like let us Like slide into that. That's crazy. Slide into that is also crazy. But that's crazy. Like, come on, man. Hold on. Let's back it up a little bit. Let's back it up a little bit so we can get, like, come on.
But I wasn't even watching porn when it happened. So
Right.
it's just like, I did it, and I really tried to show my sisters, and they couldn't do it. I was like, well.
So and that's when you began masturbating?
Yes.
Wow.
Just humping
So
pillows.
your whole childhood.
Yep.
Wow.
And I know I took my own virginity and everything. Like, it's crazy. So before I even started having sex, I was just putting it up in me and shit. So I already knew it wasn't gonna be nothing for me to start having sex. But yeah, I sucked my first dick. I was like 12, and it was at the Boys and Girls Club, and it was a staff member. And it was like 2 days in a row. Yeah, watch your kids, man.
You was 12?
I was 12.
So the male was an adult?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And he knew that I was 12.
Mm.
Yeah.
And he was a staff?
See, no accountability, right? And I'm going to show you why I'm saying that. Because she's going to he knew I was 12, but so did you. Right? You also knew you were 12 because you had been busting nuts according to you since you were 6. You had been watching porn, which was, by the way, all adults, and you knew you weren't that when you were 6. So just like he knew you were 12, so the fuck did you. And here's the crazy thing about it. Listen to how she said it. She said, I sucked, right? Then she said, right? Does that sound like somebody something was done to them? No. When something is done to people, the language usually sounds more like they were a victim of something. He made me. He did this. She did that. They did this. It happened like this. Not I did it. My. Right? Hold on.
Wow.
And I know I took my own virginity and everything. Like, it's crazy. So before I even started having sex, I was just putting it up in me and shit. So I already knew it wasn't gonna be nothing for me to start having sex. But yeah, I sucked my first dick. I was like 12, and it was at the Boys and Girls Club, and it was a staff member. And it was like 2 days in a row. Yeah, watch your kids, man.
You was 12?
I was 12.
So the male was an adult?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And he knew that I was 12.
So did you.
Yeah.
And he was a staff member at the what? The Boys?
At the Boys and Girls Club, Inc.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that's statutory rape, man. Ain't that what it's called?
That's molestation.
Okay.
No, so rape would be like having sex.
Okay.
Which is like if you, it's statutory rape, yeah. So like majority of my childhood, I caught most of my bodies in my childhood, and then most of them were adults. I think I had sex with like 2 adolescents.
What?
That's yours, motherfucking punk ass friend.
I caught most of my bodies. Come on, fam. Come on, fam. Look how quiet the chat is right now, y'all. Take a good look before they leave. Take a real good look before they leave. Look how quiet the chat is. Look how many people in the chat, and look how quiet they are. See, they not gonna demonize her because she's a girl, right? It's just frowned upon. But you could say whatever you want to about boys and men, right? So because right now, she hasn't really demonized the men. She did say they knew, right? But she keeps speaking in this language to let you know she was making her own fucking decisions. Oh, it gets worse. Don't worry. It gets worse. Right now, I would say 35 of the 50 people watching right now can't hear nothing but the men. They ain't hearing nothing but the men in the situation. The boys in the situation. That's all they're going to hear. They're not even going to hear these girls telling you they were making their own choices. They're not even going to hear it, bro. Support the show, bro. Support the show. Hit those links. Support the show.
And then the rest were adults. But I started prostituting at 15. I got my hair cut. My barber,
You start, every time I press play, you jump into some wild ass shit. You don't give us a chance. Like, you don't ease us into the shit, bruh. God damn. Hold on. I almost missed that. Let me go back. Okay. Here we go.
I caught most of my bodies in my childhood, and then most of them were adults. I think I had sex with like 2 adolescents, and then the rest were adults. But I started prostituting at 15. I got my hair cut. My barber.
See what I mean? I started prostituting. Not some man took me, groomed me, turned me into a hoe, put me on the strip. I started. See, all of this is autonomous language, which is why the chat is so quiet, because they can't demonize the men as much as they want to, right?
He cut my hair, and then he just enticed me as a 15-year-old. It's not really hard to entice a 15-year-old. And we started having sex, and he was paying me, but I didn't know he was paying me for sex. I thought that he liked me, and he was just giving me money. You know what I'm saying? But no, he was paying me for sex. So, yeah.
So that's when you began prostituting.
And that's the thing about it. That's why I like the thumbnail from last night with the girl falling and landing on the pillows and sticking up the 2 middle fingers. Because that's they thing about it. It's like, yeah, that's my story. Like, whatever a woman's story is, it's like, yeah, that's my story. Like, it's like, don't judge me, and you don't get to judge me, and we don't, right? But with a man, it's like, that's your story? Oh my God. The same motherfuckers who don't want to be judged for their story judge hard as hell, right? For other people's story. And if you notice, I'm not judging her story. I'm using her story to highlight that these niggas in this space is fucking retarded. And these bitch feminists in this fucking space are fucking retarded. And I'm winning, by the way.
So you describing that as your prostitution phase, is what you're saying?
No, I didn't know that I was prostituting.
Okay.
So it just went on like that for a few years. And then, I moved with my dad and back and forth with my mom. But every time I came back, I would always see him. And I would always f him, and then he would give me money. Okay. Then I realized it's like, after I got in a relationship, I had a baby. And then after that, I was like, damn, I was selling like I matured. I'm like, I was selling to this nigga. So I got back into it when I was 19. And I went to this mansion party. And I felt like 3 guys there. I think I left with like $300 too. I didn't leave with that much. But yeah. Most of the bodies I caught are like free bodies. So I say I had about maybe like 10 or 11, maybe like 15 tops tricks. And then the rest is just
Wow.
Oh, I am loving this. I am loving this. Man, this is a beautiful thing right now. I love it that you all can't duck this shit. That no matter how hard you're going to try, you can't duck this. Right? That it falls right in line with what I said. You got to hold them accountable too. You gotta hold them accountable too. That's the whole point. See? At the end of the day, what we realizing is that somebody said this before, when you realize who you can't criticize, you realize who actually has power. Right? Who has the power, or who has power over you is one of those. The fact that when they be like, yo, the women won't run the community, and which is why they should hold the accountability for the shape of the community, and the women don't like that shit. No, why are you gonna try to blame us? Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, but we can't criticize you though. You could criticize us. Y'all could talk shit about us on media all day long. All this shit that we talking about women is on social media. Where's it at in real media? Where's it at in national media? Where's it at on TV programs and shit like that? Where's it at? CBS, NBC, ABC, Fox, the CW, UPN, any of that shit. Where's it at? You don't fucking see it. They're not holding women accountable on the Breakfast Club. Are you kidding me? Nah. Y'all ain't learned yet. Let me see if we can get y'all to learn.
So would you say you might be traumatized from watching porn at such a young age?
Not traumatized. Groomed, but not traumatized.
Okay.
I don't think that kids should be watching porn for sure. Because it can mold the mind crazy. Like, I didn't even know sex was for the pleasure of females. I thought that sex when I was growing up was just for men to please men. So I learned like at 22 that that's not how it goes.
Right.
But yeah, I don't think it traumatized me. I was molested though, but I don't think porn traumatized me. A lot of other things traumatized me on that path.
Okay, so like what? If it wasn't porn, was it the...
I'm going to be honest. She's probably right when she says that it didn't traumatize her, but at the same time, she has a good enough reason because of the fact that she has so much of that porn content that still pays her to this day. You know what I'm saying? To not demonize it openly. You know what I'm saying? But she might be right that it didn't necessarily traumatize her. I think we think of, like, I think we use that word interchangeably with like misdirect, right? Because I know it misdirected me. When I first got into it at 11, my uncle had all them books and shit. I could barely think about anything else but that shit. After that, it was difficult, bro. And now, every time I'm looking at girls, I'm not thinking about playing and chasing them around and this and that. I'm thinking like, damn, man, I wonder what it'd be like to get with them. But that was probably like, it wasn't instantaneous, right? It wasn't like I saw a nudity book at 11 and was like, oh my God, now, you know what I'm saying? But you probably talking like a year in of consistently looking and examining, and then it starts to have an effect on your mind, like anything that you do consistently like that. You know what I'm saying? That's why they be saying, yo, you usually need like, I think, is it 90 days? Like 90 days of repetition to change your mind. You know what I'm saying? To put yourself on a different track. So people who usually go on diets for 30 days, that shit usually don't do anything. You know what I'm saying? They go right back to eating the same shit. If they lost a few pounds, they gain it right back. It usually take like 90 days for you to really reprogram or program yourself into a different mindset. So, but yeah, I just wanted to make that part clear because I ain't want people to think she was being disingenuous by saying it didn't traumatize her. We use words interchangeably. So did it misdirect her? Of course, she already admitted that. She admitted that in the last video where she said once she got off into it, that's all she was thinking about. Y'all want to go to the grocery store? Fine, not me. Y'all want to play after school? Not me. I'm going home. You see what I'm saying? I'm trying to get to this. So,
well, the first time I had sex with a grown man. And I got pregnant the first time I had sex, and then I had to get an abortion. So that kind of me up. That was like started my downhill spiral. I got into a fight. I was on probation from 12 to 16, in and out of juvie, and just wilding out, you know. I didn't understand what was going on, but clearly I was crying out for help. It was crazy. So.
See, but this is what I'm saying, though. I'm not even going to gaslight you. But why don't we say that same thing about the boys? Why is it when the boys is getting into things and being mischievous, we don't say that they crying out for help? We just say they just like their father. We just say boys will be boys, right? Why they not crying out for help? Oh yeah, I forgot, because they're always the antagonists. That's right. Because boys and men ain't shit and they're demons. I forgot, my bad. I remember now. Go ahead.
Now, do you have any siblings?
I have 4.
Okay.
Yeah, I have 2 older, 2 younger sisters, all girls. My mom had 5 girls, and she was a single mom, so, yeah.
And what's your relationship like with?
I don't talk with my mom.
Okay.
I don't talk with her because she put me in a lot of traumatic situations, and she's not ready to come to terms with that.
Okay.
And she's really religious, and she feels like, she doesn't have to apologize. But she told me that she apologized to Allah, or she talked to Allah and Allah forgave her. And I was like, that's weak as hell. So.
Yeah.
So now here's a woman saying that somebody not being willing to take accountability with her is weak as hell. Yeah, I know when you heard that, you probably thought like, yeah, that shit is weak as hell. But now hold up a fucking mirror. See, that's the point. It's weak as hell across the board when you don't want to take accountability. Not just when somebody don't want to take accountability for how they made a girl feel, but also how you make boys feel, how you treat boys, how you violate them, how you talk to them, how you raise them, how you beat them, how you curse them, right? Stifle their growth, put them in traumatic situations, right? You can't always just go to Jesus on that shit neither, or Allah for that matter, right? When the fuck do y'all start taking accountability for how y'all treat boys, men, males? The people who aren't capable of giving birth. Never mind.
Moved on from that. But I stopped selling because I realized that it did come from a place of trauma. And I stopped older niggas because I realized that came from like a daddy issue type of thing.
Remember in the first video with the Asian lady, what she said? She said, I don't want to put our girls' choices on daddy issues, right? That's everybody's go-to. It's another way of demonizing men. It's another way of blaming the men instead of holding the women accountable. And what is she saying? I realized I stopped dealing with older men because I realized I had daddy issues. Not the fact that you were watching grown-ass men encountering sex at the age of 6 years old. Not that. Forget that part. Not the fact that when you were 12 years old, you were performing oral sex on a grown-ass man. Not that. You had daddy issues. I'm willing to bet you any kind of money she can't explain that. She can't explain how she had daddy issues.
So I'm healing and I'm very self-aware, but I ain't no victim. I'm not gonna carry it like I'm a victim.
Right.
Right. Keep it moving.
That's different.
But a lot of things happened. That happened, and when I was like 15, I was in a little gangbang with like 8 grown men one time. It was crazy.
Wow.
And then I was on house arrest, and I was supposed to go to this anger management class, and I didn't go. I went to this gas station, and these niggas picked me up.
Follow the story. 15 on house arrest. was supposed to go to anger management, ditched, went to a gas station, and got picked up by some niggas. Okay.
That I didn't know. And I went to their house. They gave me Grey Goose and orange juice. I never had that. And I was, and they just, it was just niggas kept coming in. And then at one point I looked up, it was just niggas standing around me. It was crazy. But they knew I was 15 though. That's like something that I always stress. Every nigga knew how old I was and they didn't give a fuck.
Neither did you. Oh my God.
It's rude, it's humiliating, and debilitating.
You didn't care either. See, this is the part that I'm going to continue to push and continue to get pushed back on, and I don't care because none of you niggas are going to make my mouth bleed. You also knew you were 15. You knew you were 15 more than they knew you were 15. You ain't spent a single day without you. They picked me up. No, you got in the car. Insane, bro.
So.
Because they feel like, well, I don't know what the fuck they feel like, because I would never do no shit like that.
That's what I be saying. I be looking back. Like, I came to the realization that I was pedophiles. I'm like, God damn. When I look back, like now that I'm self-aware and engaged in self-healing, I look back and it's like, I a lot of pedophiles. And it's crazy. You just never know who's a pedophile.
If they're pedos, what are you? This is the question that's on deck. You didn't say you did it once. You said you did a lot. You said all of your bodies in your childhood, except for 2, were grown men. They all took advantage? Of course not. So if they're pedos, what are you? We need a word for this. We need a word that describes these young girls who deal with these guys. And then again, words don't matter. These niggas in the space is proving it. Once these niggas was running with the 18 line, right? Oh man, it's 18, it's 18. That's when they say you grown. That's the age of consent, 18. Then when you show them, oh no, the age of consent is actually younger than that. In like 40 fucking states. 17 and like almost 10, I think. 16 and like 30. Now all of a sudden, the line is blurred. And now we could just demonize anybody. Instead of just accepting what is really true, bro, is that not every fucking body plays by the same rules. They just don't. It's some young girls out here that ain't thinking about no guys. And there's some Janice Harts out here. It's some older cats that ain't thinking about no damn young girls. They all exist. I ain't saying you can't feel a way about people, but you should be able to explain it. See, I don't feel a way about the choices she made. They was hers. I don't like the fact that she ain't taking accountability, though. If they were pedos, What were you? Why is it while you're telling your story, you like, I mean, I did that. I mean, like, that's what I did. Like, that's what I did. I mean, I did that. Like, yeah, I did that. Yeah, I did that. But then when it's them, like, man, boy, I'm talking about these pedos. But you just said 30 seconds ago, you ain't no victim. Again, not implying that she said it. She literally said it. See how that works, Shanika?
I don't post my kids on the internet or nothing because you just never know.
So, pedophiles, it sounds like pedophiles are more common in our community than we may know it.
Definitely. And in family. So just growing up, there was a lot of rape, incest, and molestation in my family growing up. And, you know, like I said, you know, that was a situation my mom placed us in because she knew that those type of situations happen, but she still let us go over there. Like, she forced us to be over there. So it's kind of crazy.
Okay.
You know.
Yeah, for sure.
But you live and you learn. And I feel like that generational curse has been broken with not just me, but with my siblings. Like, we're not going for that.
So it sounds like at some point there was something that clicked in your head that said, okay, I need to change the type of life that I'm living.
Yes. Well, not really the life that I'm living, but it was just like, I was in a really dark space. I was homeless, like in 2020. I got evicted and I was in an Airbnb and I was manifesting really hard. And it's like, you have to heal during manifestation. You can't just ask for something and get it. Like, you have to do the work. And I was doing a lot of self-work. I was high as hell doing drugs. But through that self-work, I realized a lot of things about myself, and I had to let a lot of things go. I stopped selling ass, you know what I'm saying? I stopped, you know, being very promiscuous and, you know, seeking a lot of attention from random males. But I went through a really dark place with that because I didn't understand how to make money outside of selling my body. Like, it was very difficult. That change is hard.
So how long were you selling ass?
Since I was 15. So 15 to like 25.
Okay.
15 to 26. So I stopped in 2021. In the beginning of 2021 was the last time. And it was $3,500. But it wasn't good. And I realized, like, this is not what you're supposed to be doing. Like, you could do something else. So then
You realize that after 10 years, but girls mature faster than boys.
started doing comedy. And people always said I was funny, but I was just like, you can't make money off doing that. So, yeah. But now here I am, making money off it.
Yeah, your story is crazy. You know what I'm saying? Your story is crazy. It's a blessing to hear, you know? It's a blessing to hear it come from the horse's mouth. You feel me? You've been through a lot of stuff.
I just want people to not feel sorry, but I want you to watch your kids and definitely put yourself in a position to where you can monitor your kids. Because a lot of times these mothers, the father is gone, these mothers have to work hard, the child is unsupervised. And it's like, that's a dangerous situation, especially nowadays. Back then it was kind of dangerous. Not everything was so accessible, but nowadays it's too much access for.
I hate that that's the go-to. The go-to is always the father is gone and the mother has to work hard. Y'all just don't. I understand now why some black people leave America and never come back, bro. I get it. White people already made it suck to be black in America. And black people are making it suck even more to be black in America, bro. It don't matter how many times I say this shit, it's never gonna matter. Nobody's ever gonna let this shit sink in. Y'all have just got it so deeply programmed that it's okay for you to demonize men in every other fucking sentence. And then soon as these niggas start producing quote unquote red pill manosphere content and start saying shit out loud about what is truthful about women, how y'all act, how y'all be, how the choices y'all make, all this other shit, how y'all treat men, y'all women got beyond offended by the truth. And yet somehow it still hasn't registered to women. Damn, maybe we should stop demonizing the men. Maybe we should just take accountability. Just spend the next 5 years only talking about accountability. What you did, what you said, how you thought, how you acted, choices you made. Don't blame no fucking body else. Just so that you can remove this unwritten ass rule that it's just okay to blame every single fucking thing in your life on men. Every narrative. The daddy is gone. He gone. See that? The daddy is gone. He not living in another apartment in his own space, picking the kids up on the weekends, sending money, paying child support, right? Following court orders, doing exactly what the fuck the mama has put into place. It's never that. He just gone. And the mama working hard. Yeah, man. Y'all got it. How many videos did I have left? So I had 2 videos left. I don't even think I'm gonna get to them, cause for whatever reason y'all trying to make me work for free, and I ain't into that shit. So I'm gonna get this shit probably another 5 minutes to see if we get any kind of support. And if not, then I'm going to just go to the restaurant and get me something to eat. Chill. Damn, what time is it? Oh, fuck, they not open today, are they? Yeah, they not open. Yeah. They not even open today. Well, we'll see if y'all want to keep reviewing these videos or not. I got 2 more videos. The next one, this is crazy. Yo. Actually, it was 3 more videos. One of them is not the whole video. It's 3 more videos, but one of them is not the whole video. It's just a part of the video where she was talking about some strange shit that went on with her in her childhood. But yeah. So we got 3 more minutes. Links pinned to the top of the chat, man. Everything counts. Let me take that. Okay, so we did these 3. Boom. Let me get those out the way so that way I won't confuse them.
When you were
Let me set this one up. That's it. So y'all let me know. I'm gonna have to move myself over again. God damn it. What's up with y'all in these damn camera angles? Look at that. She not even centered. Damn. I gotta move myself around. God, that's all the way on the left of the screen. I would have absolutely been concerned about that shit if I was recording. That thumbnail came out pretty good too. Yeah, that came out pretty good. I ain't even gonna lie. All right. I gotta download my whatchamacallit so I can get my sound bites inside of the whatchamacallit. Ooh. Oh man, Rum Nitty and Twerk did another battle. How long they gonna make us wait to see it, man? That's crazy. What is this? What? So they don't have one? I was looking it up to try to figure out if they actually had a term for the young girls who prefer older men, but they don't actually have one. They showed me another term, but that term ain't even for that. That term is for the same thing. So they have multiple terms for older people who are attracted to younger people, but they don't have no term. Where's ChatGPT? Let me ask ChatGPT. Okay, so are there no terms? The same way we have terms for older people who are attracted to younger people, there's no terms for younger people who are attracted to older people? Yes, there are terms, but they are not commonly used or clinically important because attraction to older adults is generally not considered a disorder. So why not? That's the question. Why not? Yo, gerontophilia? Gerontophilia, attraction to significantly older adults, especially elderly people. Chronophilia, a broad category referring to age-related attraction patterns. No. No. See? See, they got one for elderly adults, right? Gerontophilia. If that's how you pronounce that, that is fucking hilarious. Sugar baby, someone who seeks relationships with older partners, though this often refers to a relationship dynamic rather than attraction itself. They don't have one. That's crazy. All right, the chat has spoken. So obviously nobody cares about this, so that's fine. I have no problem with that. I need to figure out, is it a way where I could watch this New Jersey twerk versus Rum Nitty battle? And I'm going to save the other video from 8 at the table for tomorrow. Yep. All right, cool. Oh, well, I did want to. You know what? No, because I'm not reviewing this video. It won't line up with another show. So I'm going to let this one play and then we'll get out of here.
I always like boys, but I like girls too. So I did both. I was into sports. I was in band. So I pretty much was not promiscuous. Oh, I probably lied. Oh, I did most of my stuff with my friends, like my female friends. Shout out to John Queese. Hey, girl.
What you and Jacquees had going on?
Man, John Queese said I was more so of like scared to get in trouble. So I was always scared to get in trouble. But back in the day when we were 8 and 9, she was turning on the like when the I don't know what it is, the pay-per-view. Right. You know how you flip through it when you got the cable channels and they had that porn on it and shit. She had that shit on there, and I used to be so scared. But John Queese was like. She turned it all the way down, and she used to always watch it. So then, you know, we tried out eating each other back then, 8, 9. Like, we was 8, 9.
At age 8 or 9?
At age 8 or 9, yes.
Wow.
We're eating each other, and we were but I was just so scared to get in trouble. Like, that was my thing.
That's yours, motherfucking punk ass friend.
Bro, they make this shit too easy. Too easy, bro. It should be a little harder than this, but it is not, bro. Like, it's just too easy. See, this is what the internet, social media has done, right? Even though it's kind of like ruined the dating game, I can't lie. But at the same time, it's opened the floodgates. It's put a mirror up to women. It's put a camera in their past in their lives. It's just open the floodgates, man. Y'all could keep dumbing yourselves down all you want to. It's not gonna go well for you. It's too many females like this that's willing to tell their stories, that's making all these excuses y'all make null and void. You just gotta let it go, bro. You do. You just gotta let it go. I know y'all have been programmed to want to treat these girls as if they're just these sweet, innocent angels, bro. I'm sorry, they're not. Let me tell you something. I was the same way with the boys. So I understand why y'all like this with the girls. Because I was the same way with the boys. And I'll give you an example. So on social media and some of the homies in real life used to talk about the boys, as y'all call them now, YNs, and how they were responsible for so much of the, let's say, crime, right? Because I was going to say violence, but it wasn't just violence. It was also like the B&E and the robberies and shit. But we were specifically having a conversation about the shootings one day. And I just remember being frustrated and saying, bro, get the fuck out of here, bro. Like, before I believe that it's just a bunch of young kids out here running up and down the block shooting, I'm talking adolescents and really low-age teenagers. I'm under 17, talking 15, 14, 13, 12. Before I believe that, I'll believe it's some white motherfuckers, right, assigned by the powers that be to do random shootings and shit in the city, to blame it on young boys and other black folks and shit, right? Not simply just to bring down the value, but to cause fear, right? To cause division and discord and all the other things that come along with it that benefits the powers that be. And it was around that same time that they had shown this mask. This person was wearing this mask that when it wasn't even a mask, because we think a mask, like a mask is something like it kind of just fits on your head. But it was whole like a rubber head type of thing that when he put the whole thing on, this white man became a fairer skinned black person. They looked like a black person. They put that mask on their head and they pulled the hoodie over their head and shit, you know what I'm saying? And then they just looked like a, not super light skinned, but just a fairer skinned black person. And I'm like, I'd rather believe that that's the motherfuckers responsible for all these goddamn shootings than to believe it's a bunch of shorties out here doing these shootings. And then something happened. I was sitting on the porch at my stepmom's crib. And two boys, couldn't have been no more than 15, probably were closer to 12, came out of a gangway. And I don't know if everybody uses the same terminology, but like the gangway is like the space in between buildings, right? Just came out the fence, looked up the block, pointed the gun, and started shooting. And the crazy thing about it was the people they were shooting at, I mean, I'm not good at just telling you like how feet and yards and shit like that. But they was basically shooting from a block away, basically. Like anybody could get hit. Then it was another incident when I was at home on 109th and State, South Side, Roseland. And I don't even remember. No, I do remember. So what happened was I'm sitting in the living room, and the living room of my apartment faced State Street. So when I heard the first shot, it was so close. Like, pow, I'm like, what the fuck? So I get up. And by the time I got to the window, here come more shots. But as I'm in the window, I move the blinds out the way. Same thing. Young boys. Had to be somewhere in between 12 and 15. Shooting up the block. Right? Could be hitting anybody. I'm like, what the fuck is going on, bro? And it was almost like it was meant for me to see those things happen, for me to have the revelation that it really was my young black brothers out here participating in that shit like that. Because I never did. Not that young. Not that young. You know what I'm saying? I think in our heads, and when I say our, I don't mean me, we do the same thing with girls, right? That we just are programmed to see them as these innocent vessels who couldn't possibly be doing a lot of the shit that they actually are doing, like this. Don't get it twisted. Me hearing her say that is still weird as fuck to me because it's beyond my experience. But at the same time, it's getting less and less weird to know that girls aren't these angelic creatures that we try to make them out to be, particularly for the sake of demonizing men. What you have to be willing to do and understand, there are people in the world that you can trust, and then there's people in the world that you can't trust. Right? Honest people, usually trustworthy. Retarded people, never trustworthy. Never. The truth is that the Willie Lynch letter is real. The women have been elevated to a position where they aren't held to account. Not in reality. Not on an equal footing to men. And that's the problem. That shit sound crazy as hell. Look at how she was talking. My friend was watching it. My friend always watched it. My friend always put it on. The reason why you know your friend always did that shit because you was right there with her doing it. But you want to put it all on her. I just didn't want to get in trouble. I didn't want to get in trouble. They can't even fucking help themselves damn near when it comes to this unaccountability shit. Where is this at? Let me do this. Get my timestamp. Okay.
Oh, we tried out eating each other back then, 8, 9, like we was 8, 9.
At age 8 or 9?
At age 8 or 9, yes.
Wow.
We're eating each other, eating each other, and we were but I was just so scared to get in trouble. Like, that was my thing. I don't like to get in trouble, but I will get in trouble. Like, but yeah, she was the one who used to just push me, like, to watch all the porn. I'm like, I didn't want to do it. We were right across the hall from my mom's room, but she was into watching it, and I was just like, But of course, I mean, I didn't want to do it, but I did it. And I didn't want to do it because I didn't want to get caught. Mm-hmm. But I enjoyed it, you know what I'm saying, if it makes sense. Mm-hmm. But yeah.
Yeah, it does make sense that you're going out of your way to not have to take accountability for your choices. That makes all the sense in the world. And this is exactly why, right? Like, it couldn't have been me sitting there. I'd have been like, come on, shorty. Like, let's just keep it a buck. Right? Don't say it all politely like that. Just tell the truth. Like, you was doing what you wanted to do. No, who the fuck wants to get in trouble? Like, of course you didn't want to get in trouble. Right? Like, what does that mean? What does that prove? That doesn't mean anything. That doesn't prove anything. It doesn't show anything, right? The fact of the matter is that you did what you wanted to do. Now, even I'm willing to acknowledge that there's probably some level, not has to be, but there's probably some level of exposure, right, that causes the sexual appetites that we're hearing from these women. But that exposure isn't always some man doing something to them. That's the point. They get the same shit we get. Remember, they all sitting here now talking about how they was putting shit on TV. Remember when you could put it on TV and back in the day in the pay-per-view and you could skip through the channels? Bro, you used to be able to go back and forth through the channel, and when the channel would flip over for a half a second, you would get to see something before it went back blurry. And as kids, you would sit there for 10, 15 minutes flipping the channels back and forth to see that shit. Y'all might think that's weird if you're young today because you don't got to. You can go straight to the internet and watch what you want to watch. All you're hearing is that they get the same kind of exposure we get, and then they turn into the same kind of sexual deviance that we do. And at the same time, you still want to demonize boys and men and not hold girls and women accountable.
So I've been doing that for a while. And up until I was 12, I was on a basketball team. I remember Angelique Bryant. Shout out to you. Angelique Bryant. We was driving.
Are you dropping real names?
I'm
right
dropping
now?
real names,
Damn.
y'all gonna be in this shit. My ex-husband was like, don't drop my name. I'm dropping your name.
Damn. Okay.
But yeah, shout out to her. Because, it's part of everybody,
Journey.
truth and journey. Like, and I'm open. So y'all need to live in y'all truth. Everybody need to live in their truth.
Okay.
That, but at the same time, that's why sometimes, like even when I was telling the story at the beginning of the stream about my cousin and my auntie, that's why I wasn't saying their name, right? Because I know it don't look favorable. Now they'll know who I'm talking about. The family will know who I'm talking about, but a lot of times every story ain't yours to tell. You know, like if you in my situation, then yes. To her point, if you in my situation, then yes. But I still think that sometimes it just requires a level of sensitivity. I think that's okay.
I live with my truth.
Okay, so you say you got turned out around 8 or 9 years old by another young lady.
Yeah.
So you was eating before you was sucking.
Yes.
Wow.
But I like sucking dick more than I eat.
Okay.
Or other way around.
So tell us that first experience.
The first pussy eating experience?
No, the first
Dick sucking?
penis sucking experience.
Oh, first penis sucking experience. Oh, can I remember back that day? I wish you would tell me earlier.
It's been that many?
No, it's not that. No, it's that many, but not the first of that many.
Everybody remember the first, right?
Maybe, I want to say my first sucking dick, maybe it could be my daughter's father.
Okay.
So I was 15.
Oh.
No, it ain't it. That's definitely not it. I just was sucking. I remember watching Korean Steffens. That's how I got into it.
Superhead.
Superhead, yes. When she was on the blue couch. Shout out to Korean Steffens, because, bitch, you the one who taught me everything I know, and that's why that's good. But, yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Korean Steffens taught her everything she knows. So you mean it wasn't a man? You mean it wasn't some man making your decisions? You weren't succumbing to the power and will of some man? Korean Steffens taught you. Okay, cool.
Yes.
We got
I
one
don't
of
know
Superhead babies in the building.
So I'm the blue couch. I done found it. I found it. She was on a blue couch. What's her name? Was Olivia?
Mr. Marcus at? Mr. Marcus behind the camera right now.
I don't know I can't tell you really who the first one was, because I probably was. But I want to say, I honestly don't know who the first I sucked. But if I want to just go back.
Okay, so you're telling us you were inspired by Superhead?
No. Don't go back to that. Stay right here. She can't tell you who the first person is that she went down on. I'm older than her and I still know the first person I went down on. But she said at first that it was her baby's father at 15. And now she's saying, no, he wasn't the first, which means it happened before that. Like I said, bro, this shit not gonna go well for y'all. You could try to demonize me all you want to. All I gotta do is post the truth. Y'all can tell as many lies, refabricate, all that shit. All I gotta do is tell the truth. That's it. Y'all got to make up your own minds. You can't tell me these people out here making these decisions for themselves, but somehow they ain't accountable for them. That's stupid. Fuck you. Because yesterday, when we reviewed that video of all them boys making their decisions, they all was going to fucking jail. All of them. I didn't even review the videos of the kids or the teenagers who was getting all that time. Did some shit at 17, convicted them at 18, gave them 25 years. We looked at the one video of the 14-year-old boy who they gave 9 to life, and he ended up doing 28 years. The kids who was doing the carjackings, the kids who was doing the robberies of the delivery drivers, right? Locked up with $50,000 bonds. When boys do shit, they get held to account. I know you might be thinking, yeah, Beans, but those are crimes. And I'm saying that's the point. If it's a crime for the older dude to be with the younger girl, the crime should also be for the younger girl being with the older guy. It should be criminal both ways. Because there needs to be something in place to hold the girls accountable for when they're making their own choices. They shouldn't all be allowed to be victims. That's the point. But you can't understand that because you can't even accept the fucking law or argue your own moral position. You only care about the law when it works in favor with your argument. And you can't even argue your own moral positioning. This shit is not going to go good for you. All right.
I was inspired by superheroes.
At age 15?
At age 15, yes.
Okay, cool.
So I found the movie. Shout out to my mama for having that. I found the movie when I lived in Crete, and I put it on and I watched it, and I just studied it, and ever since then I just really knew how to suck, and I was just cold at that age. Like, I mean, I wasn't probably that cold, but I knew I was on to something at that age.
Wow.
Yeah, I ended up getting pregnant.
That's very interesting, right? Because who am I to judge? I won't, right? Mm-hmm. So I could say, like, we the same age, you know? And so if I'm watching the Superhead and Mr. Marcus joint, you know what I mean? I'm young as hell just getting my rocks off, you feel me? But to know that there was a young lady the same age, she watching it and she learning how to do her some tricks.
Yeah.
This shit is crazy.
Yeah.
See what I mean? Do I need to say anything else? Honestly. He just summed it up for you right there. I told y'all, all I do is tell y'all the truth. Did you hear him? As a man who was once a boy, in his mind, it make all the sense in the world that he would be watching that video, that he would be getting his rocks off to the video. But to know that at that same time, there was a girl his same age who was watching the video and who was looking at the woman and learning from her. And then taking that shit that she learned from that and practicing it on the men in her life at 15 years old. Nobody's forcing her. Nobody's attacking her. Nobody's manipulating her. She's just making her own choices. So what do you do with those girls? Don't worry, I know you're not going to answer. You can't. But this proves what I said earlier. The way that we make women these naive, uninformed, like blank slates that don't know shit, and every single thing they do and every choice they make that isn't the best or optimal is somebody else's fault. We can't even believe this shit. Look how his look. Look at his face. Like I said, I definitely wasn't thinking that it was girls sitting around watching porn like that. I didn't think girls watched it like that either. Maybe a couple. That's how the whole industry felt. Like it was a new 100 girls every year who participated and the same 12 dudes. Now it's everybody and their mama on Twitter, on Pornhub, on X videos. Yeah, that just made me think about the Tracy Lord scandal. She became the biggest chick in the industry in the 80s. until they found out that she was actually underage. Then they had to remove all of her videos off the shelves. Then she kept producing some content, because she was past 18. But all of that content that she had before she was 18, they had to take it off the shelves. They even tried going after people, the people who filmed, directed, and produced it or whatever. It's like, bro, how the fuck we supposed to know? Back then, the fake IDs was super easy because it wasn't shit but the little cards and shit. I don't even know if they had the laminated shit. I don't know. I think it's laminated with the little plastic over it. I don't even know if they had that shit yet. It might have just been the paper cards. But even if they did, I actually had a fake ID one time. You know what I'm saying? I can't remember how much I paid for it. Maybe $10, $20, some shit like that. But yeah. And instead of them going after her and saying, what the hell is your problem? What do you think you're doing here at 16 years old trying to film adult movies with these grown men? They went after the grown men who got tricked by a fake ID. I mean, if that don't sum it up for you, I don't know what will, bro. I don't know what will. Like I said, I showed the meme last night. I'll show it one more time before I get out of here. Shout out to my man Proxology in the chat for the Cash App. Don't know, appreciate you, bro. It was blew my mind when I saw it. Here you go, right here. Let me bring it back up again. Look at this. I want to make sure all of it is up there. Is that all of it? Yeah, that is all of it. Okay. So that's all of it. So 500,000. Man, what? Oh, my hand was on it. I was like, what the hell? My hand was on the thing. 500,000 U.S. teenage parents, right? So it's more teenage boys than it is teenage girls by about 600,000, ages 13 and 19. So teenagers. But look at the children. Understanding that most teen parents are 18 and 19, I did the data on that. It came back to basically 75%. So 75%, according to the data, of teenage parents are 18 to 19. So that means only 25% of teenage parents are actually under 18. And this is what I was saying when we was doing this show the other day, reviewing all those girls who was having all those babies mad young. That's a small percentage, right? Even that's a small percentage of the small percentage of teenage girls and boys altogether, right? So we're talking about a very small percentage of the population, and for some reason, we still don't think we should hold them accountable. It's funny as fuck to me. It's not like we're condemning 80% of the population. We're literally talking about a very small percentage of people. But you look at those babies, though. The girls have more than 2 times as many as the boys do. And the next video is exactly why I wanted to make sure I brought this back up. Because in the next video that I was going to react to, the girl was making the claim that teenage boys can go around and make all these babies. They were saying that see, it makes me want to show it, but the fact that y'all don't want to support it, it's like, why should I work and do all of this and y'all don't want to support the content? But they was talking basically about how the way we raise boys differently than we raise girls. And one of the things that was said is the reason why they raise girls differently is because they know girls be little hoes. So they got to be way more protective, way more involved, making sure they focused and this and that. And so the girl makes the claim, well, you know, these little boys be promiscuous too and horn dogs and, you know, they can go around and make all these babies. Yeah, but they not though. See, this is the difference between me and the rest of these content creators that y'all love. They just be talking. I try to come with the data. I try to come with the truth. So, hey, Praxology, since you sent that Cash App, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to this video just for you.
The moms, the black mom is always blamed whether the father is there or not.
Yeah.
And that was a good point. And when he said that, I was like, because I do that all the time. If I think that a man is just doing the most, he's not really right, I'd be like, your mom must be so disappointed. Like, how did your mom raise you? I always think about how a mom raised a son and not how his father raised him.
But why is that? Is it because
I really don't know.
It's the way we're socialized.
Yeah.
It's simply, I think it's simply the way that we're socialized.
Is it like you believe that because you wouldn't think a man would act like that because there's no man in the house? Like if you had your father, you wouldn't act that way.
Actually, both men that I've actually had that thought process with, both had fathers in the house. But still, I thought about the mother and how they were raised by her.
Interesting.
Why the fuck are we talking about shit that these men don't want to hear? We have misogynist viewers. They don't want to hear that. Oh, you guys are not, you're wrong. Like, let's just talk about what the point.
I do want to repeat.
So say what he said or some shit. I don't know.
So our producer just says that the reason why girls are raised differently and are pulled inside and protected and not the boys is because girls are more easy. And we're talking sex here. Girls are more easy.
That's what the producer just said.
This is what the producer says.
Yeah, he said it.
And
girls are raised differently because they're whores.
That was your point.
No, but it doesn't matter.
It's true, but it's not nice.
No, but do you know why men?
I want to hear the night.
Okay, hold on. Do you know why men have such high body counts?
Girl, they don't care.
It's because as soon as they start fucking at young ages, mostly, they get excited and they can do it here and they could do it here. They could do it here.
And it's celebrated, essentially.
It's celebrated, right? And now they're doing it from middle school, high school, and nobody is protecting them from doing that. They might have a little talk with them and say, make sure you're wearing a condom.
Nope.
Or not. You know, and they are capable of getting 15 girls pregnant. I don't know why you said that that's unlikely. It is very likely. They are capable of doing that. Why we are not raising young boys
to be responsible and disciplined
and protecting them from the same things that.
So you see what I'm saying? I don't know why you would say that it is possible. Even if it is, it still ain't true. Even if it's possible, it still ain't true. It's not happening. Y'all are getting pregnant. One more time. Even if it's possible, it's not happening. Y'all are the ones getting pregnant. See this? This is what I'm saying, bro. People don't care about the truth. They only care about what they can say to be a feminist, to be controversial, to be whatever. They don't give a fuck about the truth, bro. Mont, I'm going to try something because I seen you say where the link at in the chat. I'm going to try this real quick. It is only just for Mont, though. just because he asked for it. I'm gonna try this. I'm doing some different shit on the streaming side, so I'm gonna try this. But see, there it is. She's saying, "Oh, these boys, they can run around and they can make a bunch of babies, but they not though." Right? So now, should we go off of your feelings? Feelings, right? Or should we go off the data? Right? When I posted this on the community tab, some goofy ass nigga came on there and was like, yeah, but those girls getting pregnant by grown ass men. I didn't respond because I knew the back and forth wouldn't be healthy because he's obviously fucking retarded. Not that he's wrong, but the fact of the matter is you don't want to hold them accountable for sleeping with those grown ass men. So I don't want to talk to you. I only want to talk to people who want to be even killed. Like that Asian chick at the beginning of the video. The only ones. The only ones. What the hell? Oh, I just clicked on the wrong thing. Hold on, let me go back to this real quick. Which one is this? And then that. Okay. Let me go back to this real quick. Let me take it forward just a little bit so we can hear that one more time.
Them from doing that. They might have a little.
Girl, they don't care.
Is because as soon as they start fucking at young ages, mostly, they get excited and they.
You see that? At young ages mostly, right? So the claim there is that boys mostly you lose our virginities at young ages. Now, here's where this starts getting deep at, right? If most of these teenage boys are losing their virginities at young ages, who are they losing their virginity to? Do you think it's more likely that they're losing their virginity to older women or younger women? Older women or other young girls? Right? If they're sleeping with all of these women, as you suggest they are they sleeping with a whole bunch of older women or younger girls around their same age? See, the point is that you're saying they're doing all this sex, but they're having it with somebody. So what are we talking about? Even if I conceded it.
They can do it here and they could do it here. They could do it here.
And it's celebrated, essentially.
It's celebrated, right? And now they're doing it from middle school, high school, and nobody is protecting them from doing that. They might have a little talk with them and say, make sure you're wearing a condom.
Nope.
Or not. You know?
Now, the condom presentations in school are only for girls. Imagine that. Now, this is how disingenuous people are. This is what it looks like to just lie on camera for no reason, right? Now, the male condoms, not even the female condoms, the male condoms sitting all around school, those presentations that they did with condoms and how you put them on and all this other shit, and all of that was just for the girls. The boys don't get that. Nobody is telling them that those condoms go on their penises, right? Come on, man. You can't make this shit up. They are, but you can't make this shit up, bro.
Oh, and they are capable of getting 15 girls pregnant. I don't know why you said that that's unlikely. It is very
because it is unlikely. You just said what they're capable of doing, but they would have to attract and get those girls to have sex with them in order for them to do it, which is unlikely because y'all too busy looking at grown men.
very likely. They are capable of doing that. Why we are not raising young boys
to be responsible and disciplined
and protecting them from the same things that we are protecting little girls from is actually insane.
I agree.
And yet, y'all must be doing a horrible job at it then. Because the girls are 2.5 times more likely to have a fucking child. Shit is wild.
100%. Like
I agree too.
I hope you got what Amanda said. I don't know if the cameras over there? Okay. And I think that is literally the context of where this entire situation comes from. So if we fail to raise, so when we say raise, we're training, we're instilling, we're building, we're doing everything to make this young girl be a woman who can function in normal society. Why would we fail to do that for the young boys?
I would say, yeah, having a man in the house while raising boys is probably night and day. I would think it's night and day. I don't know the statistics or anything like that, but I would assume it's night and day because
on the father too.
Yeah, it depends on the father.
Yeah. So let's not assume that the men that are sticking around to be in their lives are actually good fathers at all.
That's it.
So we won't say that, but let's assume.
So it goes back to how we're raising them.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like a cycle, honestly.
You either want to be like your dad or you
literally
want to be nothing like your dad.
I just want to make sure y'all don't miss that. They are agreeing to not assume that just because the fathers are there, that they're doing a good job. Yes or no, do you think they would ever say that about women? Do you think that their go-to for women would be to not assume that a mother who didn't abort the baby, didn't drop the baby off at a fire station, didn't give the baby up for adoption, didn't let the grandma raise the child, but is there, that the present mother isn't doing a good job? Do you think that would be their go-to? You think they would ever fucking say that about the mothers? Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, and if you know your father left, and you know your mother did everything she could to make him stay, you probably heard those conversations. And
the mother did everything she could to make him stay. Of course she didn't run him away. Of course she didn't kick him out. Of course she didn't alienate him. Come on.
And you probably fault your mother for that.
Mm.
So that's probably the seed that starts hey, now I'm going to just continue the cycle. I don't have the answer. And I ain't saying it's right.
Because all of it is right.
And I know you want to say that the problem is men, and I'm supposed to be like,
No. Actually, I don't. Hold on. Okay. I don't. Excuse me. I actually don't want to say the problem is men. While I think it starts with the father not being there, I think that the way that women,
I was just about to say that,
who decide wherever they get this ideology from, but however they decide to raise their son, it's still on that woman. Because you can still raise your son to be respectful. You can still raise your son to understand consent. You can still raise your son to be disciplined. You can still raise your son to be like I say all the time, a decent fucking human being.
What does that mean to understand consent? Because obviously y'all don't actually care about that anymore. The space has proven that. Y'all don't actually care about that. So they create an age of consent, and then when the girl reaches that age, if the guy talks to her, he's still wrong. So what does that mean? I wish I could have asked her that.
Like, and I'm not putting this on. I'm not putting, because I don't want this to like be an attack on mothers, whose fathers or whose
Who are single mothers.
yeah. Like, but not because of their own doing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the nigga left. It is what it is. I don't.
See? Careful. Let's not offend this particular demographic of women. Let's make sure we tread lightly and don't say anything against these particular demographic of women. Motherfucker, make my mouth bleed then. Because I'm going to talk about them. I don't know what the fuck y'all got going on, but I'm going to talk about them. So y'all can keep treading lightly all you want to. I just proved my point. I told you they would never say that shit about women. Let's not assume the man ain't good just because he there, but let's automatically assume that if the man ain't there, it ain't the woman's fault. Like I said, bro, all I do is tell y'all the fucking truth.
I'm not putting that. I don't want this to seem like I'm putting that on them.
But the people are going to say, why did the nigga leave?
Yeah, but also there's this narrative.
It doesn't make it right. It doesn't make it right.
It doesn't matter.
I understand that's what he's saying in the clip.
It doesn't matter.
That's just
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter why he left.
Men are going to say,
That's
well,
why
why
you
did he
ignore
leave?
it.
It's an ignorant question anyway.
I'm
but
not saying I'm
also
saying that.
This narrative exists because there are mothers that baby men.
Yeah,
Exactly. And can I say,
Go. Yeah.
am I doing too?
Go ahead.
Did I get it?
not this time. Go
Y'all
ahead.
mind if I? Okay.
I'm gonna hit her.
So
This time, go ahead.
Like I might actually rock her.
no,
Rock her!
I feel like in the son-mother relationship, I think sometimes the woman is trying to be the friend, or they're trying to have a close bond with the son. And I think that sometimes you try to maintain a relationship with your child, with your son, that maybe you failed when it came to other men. So I think that you ever heard the term where you have women who treat their sons like they're
their husband?
man? Yeah,
Mhm.
exactly.
Is that the Oedipus?
Okay.
Okay.
Right. Okay. So I think not even that the woman is in love with her son in that way, but I think it's more, like, this is the man in my life. This is the man that I want to have a close relationship with. My relationship with other men have failed. I don't really know why, but I'm going to mold this relationship.
I want to see exactly how she characterizes this, right? Because she's painting the picture now to suggest that this thing undermines men. But I guarantee you she jumps right into how that looks on men, right? When you see men being a certain way, that you can attribute it to that, versus expounding more and going deeper into women who do that and why they do that and how they may be accountable for even being in that position in the first place. I guarantee you she does not address the women at all. Let's see.
The way that I see fit for myself, more selfish than beneficial to your son. And I think that
And then men become mama's boys.
they become mama's boys, and they
then
look to their
mamas
mother
make them
because she's
feel
more
like they can do no wrong.
right. You look to your mother because you know she's always gonna have your back. She's the person that has built this relationship between you and her, where you're the man in her life that she has that special bond with. Let's lay that to rest, okay? I understand what you've seen or heard or whatever, heard from your homies, brothers, cousins, whatever. But I want to lay this to rest. I want to do this for the culture.
Please.
Stop making it seem like the woman is just the person to blame for all of these single parent homes. Let's really take accountability for what you did in that relationship. That's it. Did you cheat on her while she was pregnant? Did you drive her car to another chick house while she was at work?
Jody.
What did you do in that situation that made her resent you so much?
Bro, hashtag Beans is always right. Y'all already ain't supporting. Hashtag Beans is always right in the chat. I need to see it at least once. Matter of fact, twice. Once is too simple. I need twice. Matter of fact, 3 times. Hashtag Beans is always right in the chat. Let me see it. 3 different people. Not 3 times from the same person. I told you. Trying to force people to have a conversation, to hold women accountable. Bro, the Iran war will be over before we accomplish that shit. Hashtag Beans is always right, bro. I knew she wasn't going to talk about the women. She used that shit. She put it to bed. She's like, let's put that to bed. And let's just talk about the fact that you did something to her. Hashtag Beans is always right. Or you can hit the Cash App. $5 twice. I think you'd probably rather just do it this way. Hashtag Beans is always right. I know. It's Beans. Come on, man, with the ego shit. Fuck that. It's time to start holding motherfuckers accountable, bro. Like, for real. This shit is insane. It's insane, bro. I knew she wasn't going to do it. And what the fuck did this nigga Mont come in here and ask for the link for? And then didn't even hit the motherfucker. Somebody asked me the other day, why you like 8 at the table? And I said, but because they be being like transparent. Let's say that. That's the word. I think I said honest when they asked me, but I meant transparent, right? They not hiding the fact that they fucking hate men. And I appreciate that. They don't hide the fact that they have this disdain for men, and I appreciate that because now it's the examples that we get to see out loud, right? We don't have to pretend. We don't have to act like the shit ain't what it is. I know it's one side of the story, right? It's not like they shouldn't be able to tell one side of the story, you know? But why is it that you think that's the majority? What is it that what is it that you're actually using to think that that's the majority? Because in reality, we all know that it's not, right? Like, we know that it's not. Here's the thing. Even if I conceded that cheating was a part of the majority, what does that have to do with your behavior in raising your child? See, what it boils down to is that there are some things that men are inclined to do, and there are some things that women are inclined to do. So if you say you're a woman, you're pregnant by a man, and the dude, cheats on you. And so now because he cheated on you, you get rid of him and then you develop a son-husband relationship with your child. Right? So that would be the thing that a woman is inclined to do. Now, if you flip it, you say as a man, he has a kid with a woman, and a woman cheats on him, and he gets rid of her, and he's raising a kid. What would the man be inclined to do after that? Right? So maybe be violent. We know men have an inclination for violence. But we'll look at that and we'll say, yo, that's crazy. That's a horrible thing to do. You ain't supposed to be reacting like that. Take accountability. Oh, well, you chose her. Get over it. Grow up, mature, get therapy, heal. Who hurt you? It's all the shit we'll say to the man whose inclination as a man presents itself in one of those kinds of situations. But when it's a woman, let's be understanding. Let's understand that she's only doing that because this nigga cheated on her or took her car to go see another woman. So, no need to hold her accountable for her choices. And this is how we know you don't want to hold them accountable, because you won't talk about it. All you will talk about is what the man did. Now, go to any college professor who's not a feminist, any smart person who's not retarded, who isn't biased against men or women, and ask them, if you are willing to talk about what men do wrong all fucking day long, but you ain't willing to talk about what women do wrong all day long, doesn't that equate to you not wanting to hold women accountable? And then just come back and thank me later. That's what it means. See, I got accused of not going at the liberals, which was a retarded statement because I talk shit about liberals every day. I just don't address them politically. I don't have to address them politically. I don't have to say, you're a Democrat, you're a liberal, and that's why you're a feminist. I'm attacking feminism, which is a liberal ideology. So when the person said that I don't attack liberals, you know he was what? Say it with me. Retarded. Exactly. See how that's not me making that up. The same person who says feminism is a liberal ideology and I am always attacking feminism said that I don't attack liberals. Listen, I don't want for people to be this dumb. They just are. It's not what I want. I want people to be smarter, but they don't choose to be. But this is why I like Ed at the Table, man. Shout out to them for always being transparent with their misandry. We need it. If they didn't do it, then we wouldn't have the evidence to present to say, see, this is what men are enduring. This is the thing that y'all are ignoring, right? The same way how they continue to try to make it seem like boys are just these horn dogs because that's just what boys are. And then there are men in their life telling them, yeah, go screw every girl you can. No man ever said that shit to me, ever. Go screw every girl you can. Like, that never happened. Why? Because they don't want to hold the women accountable. They don't want to hold the mothers accountable for parading men in and out of their houses. They're going to pretend like that don't happen. They're going to sit on a panel and tell you, not no girls I know did. I don't know no girls who brought no dudes to their house. It's never them. But those of us who acknowledge that it be us, we the bad guys. When you talk about gangbangers, that's me. When you talk about drug dealers, that was me. When you talk about hood niggas, that was me. When you talk about homeless, that was me. Broke, that's me. I don't have no, like, I'm like, yo, what? Right now, it's a motherfucker somewhere snatching a woman into a car, finna go take her to his basement and hold her for the next 9 months. And you worrying about the fact that I'm broke? That's the shit that's on your mind? This shit that don't affect the culture at all? It's a mother right now somewhere sending her kid to the store with a note to get her some cigarettes. He probably don't even need the note no more. That's probably some old shit, because my mama used to send me to the store to get cigarettes with the note. Don't understand that she's getting her kid used to fucking seeing and purchasing cigarettes. I can't even say don't understand, because she understands. She just don't care. She wants the cigarettes more than she give a fuck about how she's tempting her son, or her child rather. Child as in he belongs to her, not age. It's way worse shit going on in the community. Right now, it's a 15-year-old somewhere sucking dick 10 years from now to blame that motherfucker for doing it instead of taking accountability for her choices, when she could be at home doing homework like the other 15-year-old girls. My closest female cousin, when she was 15, she was still a virgin. She wasn't thinking about no boys. She was going to Whitney Young High School on her way to graduating. I think she might have met her husband either senior year or the year after, and they've been together ever since. See, because that girl exists, then I know to treat the 15-year-old slut like a fucking slut. The same way how you want to treat the 15-year-old boy who's a criminal like a criminal. You see how that works? No, you can't, right? Because it's a girl. You don't do girls like that. We only do boys like that. They're the only ones who we can attack and treat as adults, and adultification and all that shit. Words I never heard before 2 weeks ago. She's telling you right now. She's showing you right now exactly why boys and some men fucking hate women. Because you motherfuckers ain't accountable for shit. And men are tired of it. That's why the red pill exists. That's why. That's why the manosphere exists. Because them niggas got tired of the one-sided conversation where in media, all they ever talked about is how fucked up the dudes is. And now that they online talking about how fucked up the women are, what did you get in response? Cynthia G. What do you get in response? 8 at the table. I'm trying to tell you what it is, bro. Like, I know you're not gonna listen to me. I don't got enough subscribers. But the truth be told, let's let women go on a 365-day sabbatical of victimhood. Straight accountability for all the fucking decisions they have made and will make and are making and all of that. Don't blame men for shit. Just take accountability. Watch what happens. Watch what happens. For a minute, it was a lot of dudes marrying big girls because they were more humble. Now they not even humble no more. They cheating on niggas. They leaving niggas. They doing the same shit the other girls do because they all want to be alike. If they could do it, I could do it too. If she could get flued out, I could get flued out. There's no humility in the community anymore, no humbleness at all. And yet the very people who refuse to practice humbleness are the very ones who claim to be Christians. Oh, it's a multitude of scriptures about being humble that none of these Christians are following at all. But let me show you this though.
The girl didn't just have a great pregnancy and push out a baby and start being mean to you. A situation happened, and I need men to stop pretending like something did not occur for her to be bitter.
Yeah, you know what that thing is called? It's called disappointment. Oh, this is going to be good. It's called disappointment. Now, let me guess. You don't think women should ever be disappointed. See, what happens more often than not, and you women don't want to admit it, is that the man isn't and doesn't become or provide you with everything you thought your coochie was supposed to provide you with. You mean to tell me he got this coochie and he don't now make six figures? You mean to tell me I screwed him and I'm not getting flued out nowhere? You mean to tell me I had his baby and I'm not living in a mansion and I don't have a nurse to take care of my baby for me so I can kick it with my girls? You mean to tell me we not in a foreign and I'm screwing this nigga? It's disappointment. You screw the dude, you have a baby with the dude, and the dude don't miraculously become, I don't know, whoever y'all like. Gucci Man, Wacko Flocko, whoever, I don't know. I'm showing my age right now. I don't listen to these new rappers. Right? He don't automatically become that shit, and so therefore now you're disappointed. And when women are disappointed in men, you treat them badly. Again, another conversation we won't ever have. Nobody's going to talk about how badly women treat men. We just gonna keep making it seem like, nope, the man must have did something wrong. And this is proof. The other day I was talking about this and I said, when a man get cheated on, we was on Trey Channel because Angry Man was came back and was repeating it like, yeah, BEANZ is right. When a man get cheated on, he must have did something wrong. He must not have been doing something right. Man, she didn't just cheat on him for nothing. But when a woman get cheated on, oh, she's the victim and that nigga is wrong and girl, you don't deserve that. Right? This is why I don't like feminists. I get it, and I'm already acknowledging that she's only telling one side of the story. But when you tell this side of the story and you make it seem like this is, and when I say make it seem like, you have to listen to what she was talking about. She went from talking about how these women end up with these quote unquote kind of son husbands. And then she leaped from that to, cause y'all be cheating. Cause y'all be done did something wrong. You see? That's why I can make the argument that she's making it seem like the majority of the time, that's what's happening. Which doesn't make any fucking sense at all. The reason why you're treating your son like he's your husband is because some nigga cheated on you. That makes all the sense in the world. Marcus, what's up, bro? That's just crazy.
She had this hope and this dream that she would either be a wife
Uh-oh.
or she would have a happy home with a present father.
Uh-oh.
Something occurred.
Hashtag BEANZ is always right. I swear to God, I never watched this video. Swear to God. On my kids. Never watched it. I'm pausing it. We watching it together in real time. I paused it and literally told y'all it was disappointment. And as soon as we unpaused it, what does she highlight? Disappointment. Check fucking mate, bro. Hashtag BEANZ is always right. I'll wait. That's a fact, Willie. I damn near want to, Willie. I damn near want to move to Puerto Rico, but they keep drowning that motherfucker. Every time I think about going to Puerto Rico, they have some kind of hurricane ass, flood ass, tornado ass, landslide ass, mud slide. Like, it's every time I think about it, some goofy shit happened over there, bro. It's like that, they won't leave them people the fuck alone. Salute to my man Trip. He said BEANZ was right. Yo, listen, I told y'all. I knew it was going to be. That's what it is. You have all these expectations from this dude to magically become some shit just because you fucked him. And then when he don't, you start treating him badly. That happens way more than y'all want to acknowledge. I would argue it happens the majority of the time. I would argue that it happens the majority of the time. And here's the thing about it. Against my own belief, the data says that men and women cheat basically at the same rate. So I think men were 4% higher, like 28 to 24, but it's more women. So it's literally more of them cheating. Right? If you use the data, that would suggest that the majority of these men ain't even cheating. I'm admitting that that goes against my belief, but it doesn't matter. The data says it. So if the majority of these men aren't cheating, and we know that the majority of reasons that women leave marriages is irreconcilable differences, unhappiness, and all that shit that pertains to them, you see how I make shit make sense just by using the data? It's not even me making it up. When I say that disappointment is the majority of the reasons why those relationships don't work, it makes sense even if you use the data. I'm sorry. I know it's boring. You just want me to just try to tear niggas down and talk about how fucked up they is and this and that. I can't do it. That shit's boring. I don't like punching down. I prefer to punch up. So I'm not going to spend my time punching down on Daryl Long. That's too easy. Not even on cellulite. That shit's too easy. I'm going to keep addressing the issues. Because this shit crazy. I told you. Now, I do want to see how she finna clean this up, how she finna end this. I want to see it.
Let's really take accountability for what you did in that relationship. That's it. Did you cheat on her while she was pregnant? Did you drive her car to another chick house while she was at work?
Jody.
What did you do in that situation that made her resent you so much? The girl didn't just have a great pregnancy and push out her baby and start being mean to you. A situation happened, and I need men to stop pretending like something did not occur for her to be bitter. Right. She had this hope and this dream that she would either be a wife or she would have a happy home with a present father. Something occurred. Now, I'm not saying all this to say that men are not wrong, but what I am saying is that as a woman who knows a lot of women and who has seen a lot of women get mistreated during their pregnancy or anything during the whole beginning and end of the relationship of birth, we got to stop making it seem like, oh, the woman, she needs to. No, sometimes it's not just the woman's fault. And that's what I hate, because
it's fair.
Men will make it seem like this woman is crazy.
It's actually
Damn,
really
Alan,
crazy.
you hate bitches so much, you don't let me finish whatever I'm saying. Some real shit. You always, every fucking time I say some shit that niggas don't like, you're doing what they do to me in the comments. The moment I say some shit that makes you feel like, no, because it's always the women. You start cutting me off. Shut the.
I agree with what you're saying in that even though women are almost always blamed for the father not being there, like, let's be real. It's not like a woman woke up and was just like, ugh, I got my baby. Let me get this nigga out of here. No, like.
Now, I'm going to show y'all why this is so important, right? Shout out to Almanac. She said, I can't stand her. Nothing is ever women's fault. So, I'm going to show y'all why what she just said is so important, because she said, excuse me. She said, I know that women are always blamed for the father not being there. This is where you get people to lie at right here. If you ever hear anybody say that, ask them this question. When did that start? Let's say I give it to you. I concede it to you. That women are usually getting the blame for the father not being in the house, right? Ask them, when did that start? What year was it when women started getting the blame for the fathers not being in the home? And watch they lie. They probably just gonna jump out their skin like, always. See, the crazy thing about it is that's genuinely a new phenomenon. We talking to be fair. To be fair, we're probably talking 15 years at best. And I'll give you 16. And here's why I'm saying that. Because of Corey Holcomb. Corey Holcomb is the reason why I'm saying that. Now, I can't say because it's been so long since I saw it, that the beginning of his podcast was, a lot about blaming women. But because he has so much of that content, I'm just going to credit it. I'm just going to grant it, right? We know he started his podcast in January of 2010. So that's 16 years. That's as much as I'm giving you. Anything prior to that, the fuck out of here. Like, the narrative was always the deadbeat dad, the father left the house, the man ran away from his responsibilities, this and that. Wasn't no fucking blaming the women. I think I'm being very generous by saying 16 years. Because we really know that narrative is really about this whole manosphere red pill space, which probably only been around for maybe less than 10. Tea Leaf said Patrice O'Neal. I don't even know when that started. Like, when did that actually become a thing, right? See, we talking about culturally. It's very different from one person, and especially a comedian, than culturally. And that's why I'm saying the only reason why I'm going back to 2010 is because it's some stuff culturally that existed that I might not have necessarily knew about. But I know Corey started his podcast in 2020. I don't remember when. What was that shit called? What was the name of Patrice O'Neal's show where he talked about relationships on YouTube? The Black Phillip Show. Okay. The Black Phillip Show. Okay. So let's see. When did the Black Phillip Show with Patrice O'Neal start? Oh. So it aired on XM Radio from 2006 to 2008. And see, that's what I'm saying. I didn't know nothing about that in no goddamn 2006, 2008. The only reason why I even know about the Black Phillip Show is because they put the shit on YouTube. But that wasn't culturally the accepted premise at that time. There's no way. No way. You know what I'm saying? So that was a new phenomenon. That's what I'm saying. So I'm sticking with 2010, and even then, like I said, I think it's been the Tommy Sotomayor, Kevin Samuels era. So it's probably really more like 2015 than anything. Either way, you're still talking about less than a quarter century after we spent about 4 decades, you know what I'm saying, of blame the men. 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s. So I'm sorry, 5 decades. It was 5 decades of blame the absentee father. And now that y'all have had less than half of that time having to be presented with your choices, now all of a sudden, I know it's always blame the women. That's crazy. Damn, I kept going. I kept doing the show for free. Y'all actually got me to work for free. Congratulations.
I want to do it on my own so bad.
I don't think anybody's asking to do this shit on their own. I
want to take the bus with my kid.
Yeah. Whatever the circumstances are.
Like, and this is how you know, again, this is how you know when women are being disingenuous, right? Imagine them making the argument that the women don't want to do it on their own, right? But to them, they think being on their own while getting child support, while getting alimony is still independence. Right? It's anecdotal, but I told the story. I got 2 nieces. Matter of fact, I meant to correct that because I told the story before. I got 2 nieces. Both of them got pregnant, had babies, and then as soon as they got their cribs, they was done with their baby daddies. Shit didn't last 2 months. But with my older niece, her baby daddy went to jail. That's what happened. If her baby daddy hadn't went to jail, she'd probably still be with that nigga. Damn, probably. You know what I'm saying? Maybe not now because it's been a while, but she would have still been with him for a minute, I believe. But my youngest niece, nah. Soon as she got her apartment, you could get out. So y'all ladies just need to just stop the bullshit, bro. Y'all really fucking do. This whole do it on your own thing only means that the dude ain't providing or giving you what you want, right? Which is taking the kids off your hand when you want them to, giving you as much money as you want when you need it, when you ask for it, when you want it, right? Consistently. That's all that means. You don't really mean him being in the same household with you, y'all being a 2-parent family household. You don't mean that. So stop lying. Y'all have babies by niggas that y'all really don't want to be with. You expect them niggas to Thanos snap into the men that you really want to be with. And when they don't, you're disappointed and you end the relationship. All the data says that women end relationships. And somehow we got to keep playing this do-si-do retarded ass game where y'all pretend like the men are just abandoning you. Get the fuck out of here with this shit. We are so past this shit in 2026. Man, let me play this video from earlier one more time before we get out of here. Because y'all need to see this shit again. Something is fucking wrong with these black women. This shit is crazy.
Young girls already start to fantasize about being with older men. I'm not an exception to this. 11-year-old me really wanted to date Sam Claflin after I saw him as Finnick in Catching Fire. But could you blame me? Because I feel like there is already a lot of content exploring why older men pursue younger women or girls, I want to focus a bit more on why young girls and women also share this desire, besides resorting to the catch-all term daddy issues. For clarity, I'm focusing on large age differences, so perhaps 7 years or more, and on heterosexual relationships where the female is barely legal, aka late teens or very early 20s. So of course, what I say in this video will not be totally relevant to, say, a 27-year-old dating a 35-year-old or a 45-year-old dating a 60-year-old and so forth. I recognize this is a touchy subject because many want to assert that the younger female in a large age gap relationship is a complete victim of social conditioning, gender roles, and perhaps past experiences. I agree that I am not going to be shaming young girls or young women that find themselves dating significantly older men. However, I do not think it is fair to absolve girls and young women completely of their role in the relationship, not just for personal responsibility reasons, but mostly because I think it is patronizing to view them as having been at the complete mercy of manipulative, uncontrollable powers.
Now, I am horrible with guessing ages. I be seeing people and be thinking they older and they be younger. I be seeing people and thinking they younger and they be older. I don't know how old this chick is, okay? I'm just going to assume for the sake of the argument that I want to make that she's on the younger side and somehow making way more sense than these grown-ass black women. Did you hear that last part? It's patronizing to act as if women are always at the mercy of somebody else's power and will. None of this shit is your own doing. Yeah, you got it. Anyway, I'm about to get out of here, man. I'm going to try to catch me one of these restaurants before they close. Thank y'all for not supporting the stream. Now I know who to direct my hatred towards. Salute to my man Praxology for supporting. I appreciate that. We do have the stream tomorrow. I am bringing back the stupid detention. So that will be tomorrow as we review the video from when we was on Trey show. At least that's the plan anyway. It could change because shit keep coming up. Every time I think I'm about to do one show, some other shit come up to make me change my mind. So I can't say for sure that this is what we'll end up doing. But right now, it looks like this is the show we will be doing tomorrow. Something tomorrow. I don't know the words of the song. So yes, this is the show we will be doing tomorrow, reviewing that. Just once again exposing the what did I say? And I said the disingenuous obtuse. I called them a disingenuous obtuse panel. Right? So yes. And also the Ella video when he was on Trey show with Jazz. So that's tomorrow at some point. I think I got it scheduled for the afternoon, but it all depends on what my sleeping habits look like. So I might end up going to sleep early and then waking up early, which means the show will be early. So I kind of hope it go that way too. So I can knock the show out early and then catch the Chinese restaurant before they close. Because I end up doing these late shows and then I'll never end up getting... I ain't had no Chinese food. Man. It's May. It's about to be June 1st tomorrow. I'm pretty sure I ain't had none since March. For sure. But it might actually be February. I think I did go grab whatchamacallit though in March when me and my uncle was talking. And I think I did slide and go grab some in March. So it's still been a couple of months since I had some. So I need to get my egg foo young on. I wish I could get some tonight, but they ain't open. But man, I appreciate y'all for rocking out with me. Stop not supporting the content creators, particularly the ones that's telling you the truth. And I'll see y'all tomorrow for the stupid detention. You heard me? Jersey.
5, 4,
3, 2, 1.